My name is Roger Lloyd Conover. I don't think I've ever introduced myself using my middle name before. This word, Lloyd, always existed between first and last names. It was simply my middle name. But this week, after 67 years of seeing and saying my name, I heard it as if for the first time. My name contains his. I will wear it differently now. Since he died, I see and hear a lot of things differently. Dear Dad, I had you for 93 years. 93 years. What a blessing. Can we give you an ovation? Thanks. Dear Dad, over the past week, there are so many things I've been wondering about and wanting to ask you, but you're not answering me. Is this the way it's going to be? After all this time, how can there still be things I'll never know about you? Sometimes it didn't feel right to ask. You always had such an aura of calm and dignity about you. Whatever answer you might have given wouldn't explain you anyway. You were too large to be contained by replies and descriptions. Sometimes I just looked at you and you looked back at me. Those were sublime moments. I don't know what they meant, but I know we saw each other. I felt you looking at me, but I also felt you looking beyond me. I'm sure my other siblings, including Laura, Kathy, Andy, and Sue, know that look too. You were so present, but you were also tending toward distraction. Andy Meacham called you methodical. I agree. Even-keeled. Chill. Hey, Dad, what was it? That thing you were going to say, but didn't quite manage to. I asked myself that question every time I saw you. When people were talking all around you, you got this look on your face, like, I'm thinking and I might have something to say about that, but I'm not really quite ready to say it yet. You had that look when I saw you here 3 weeks ago. I wanted to say, what is it, Dad? Do you want to talk about what's happening? Do you know what this is about? But I couldn't, and it felt wrong to even think that possibility if you didn't. 3 weeks ago, I asked, how do you feel? You shot right back at me. It doesn't matter how you feel, it's what you do. An existential comment, if there ever was one. For you, life was never about what was wrong, but how to make it better. Joy and Jamar, I don't know if you're here now, but you were two among the many here at Suncoast who did make it better. You felt the qualities, not the quantities, of the man who was my father. I'm so grateful for that. Dear Dad, if you were here now, I still might not ask you some questions, but I'd like to. Can you explain to me how you became part of three such different alloys? Lloyd and Ginny, Lloyd and Marie, Lloyd and Catherine. Do you know that you are the absolute exemplar of a mentally healthy individual? Another thing. How dare you introduce to me the concept of molecular aesthetics and not give a damn about what clothes your wives hung on you? How could you wear Gangnam Style hats? Despite all that you did with your life and what the obituaries are saying, life was never about fame for you. It was about what you had not done yet and what you looked forward to. I never thought of you as an old man. There was not 1 ounce of sourness in you. You didn't have edge. You were just sweet. Sweet beyond belief. Oh, Lloyd, Or, as my sons would say, oh, my sweet. In my mind, I keep turning over pictures of you. There you are, pitching a tent and making a campfire on the shores of Little Lake Sunapee in 1965, while Ramon, our foreign exchange student, who had just arrived from Barcelona, watched Dr. Conover in disbelief. There you are, feeding grain to our sheep and writing their names on the parcels of meat that later wound up in our freezer. Donkey face, shanks. Blackie, shoulders. Snowball, ribs. There you are, playing ping pong in the basement. There you are, spraying bees' nests in the giant fan you installed in our attic. There you are, saying grace before the vocabulary games we played at dinner. There you are in your study, laboring for days over a paper you have to give at a conference in London. In the meantime, you take time out to help me with my essays for school. You teach me that some sentences, like some molecules, are better than others. We work together, word by word. You removed unnecessary lines and molecules. There you are, lifting stones from our fields into a wheelbarrow to make a new lawn. There you are, giving us rides on the old red tractor. There you are, in front of Cub Scout Pack 39, lighting up every boy's face with wonder when you dim the lights and produce synthetic lightning with your Tesla coil. There you are, on one knee, sawing down a Christmas tree. And Dad, I see you laughing from the very pit of your being, slapping your leg and heaving back and forth in your chair until your face is scarlet. I don't just see you, I hear you. I hear you sneaking cookies from the kitchen cabinet late at night. Naughty Dad. I hear you and Mom talking about us kids and sometimes disagreeing. I see you meeting us at Waterford Beach for a picnic after work and changing from your lab clothes to your bathing suit. I don't think there was ever a bigger treat than that. You were like a super dad going from one costume to another. You were so many things. You were my hero. I loved the way you swam on your back, long, slow strokes making a snowman in the water. I swim that way now too. I wish I'd told you that. Your most unscientific son would like to have teased you by saying swim strokes are genetic. You would shake your head. Swim strokes are not hereditary. That's just an efficient way of swimming. Sometimes when we talked, you would just listen and think. You were famous for your pauses. Listening to you talk was like listening to thought itself. Sometimes I would get impatient. I know I talk fast because I didn't like to see you interrupted. Only once in a great while did it seem to bother you. You would just carry on at your own pace, slow and steady, the way you swam. Things just didn't seem to bother you. I can count on one hand the number of times I saw you angry. When you were really dismayed at the end of your rope, which was rare, you'd be silent for a long time. Then you'd get that certain look on your face. All right, I've had just about enough. In 93 years, that's about as upset as I ever saw you. All right, I've had just about enough. There's a limit. But you would never say that about life. You could never have enough life. When I saw you last month, so frail, I still don't think you thought you were going to die. Or if you did, you weren't about to say it. Maybe I'm not going to get better was the closest you came, but you weren't giving up. I've been dreaming about my father. In my dreams, sometimes I'm with Heather, Kurt, and Craig, at the house in Connecticut where we grew up. We're kids. Usually there are sheep and other animals in the dreams. Sometimes Connie, my cow, appears. Often we are clearing land. I hated doing that as much as I loved going to Amherst football games with you. Clearing land, I mean. Why couldn't we be like other kids and just go to the mall on weekends? This is intense. The obituaries say you were a New Jersey boy who became a scientist. What they don't say is that you also became a Connecticut farmer, not a gentleman farmer, but the big, scruffy, sweaty man I see in my dreams. Not Dr. Conover, but Dad, in a white t-shirt, going into the barn full of rakes and shovels and fertilizer and mole traps, getting ready to dig a trench or burn a pile of brush. Where's Case?
Yeah.
Case, yeah. I had a different kind of dream 2 nights ago. We're in Florida, and my father's surrounded by professors at Eckhart College. They're asking him questions about his invention of tetracycline. He's sitting in his old yellow wooden office chair at a desk. It's mostly male academics standing around him. Then out of the group, a young woman emerges and stands in front of you. In my dream, I recognize her as Hadley, Case's fiancée. She takes your hand and whispers, Dr. Conover, I wanted to ask you about love. My father looks at her and says, Hadley, it's nice to meet you. And as for love, it's all the same thing, dear girl. It's all chemistry. Okay, I'm almost done. If the admiration of one's children is the greatest gift a parent can attain, you are drenched in gifts, dear Lloyd. Hey, I'll be swimming next to you in the oceanic universe soon enough, and we won't have to talk about any of this, because you know what? I feel you in my bones. You're coming with me, Dad. Wherever I swim, you swim. I just have one more thing to say, and that's to the Loves. We love the Solomons and the Loves. That stays. Oh, and one more thing. Catherine, you didn't just mean the world to my father. You were the world to my father. He lived for you. Thank you for keeping him here for so long. And now, Dad, the final pause. This one's gonna last a while. It's a good one.
I think it's time for a round of applause.
Yeah.